I'd like to call the order the Common Council meeting for January 26th at 6 p.m. Roll call.
Alderman Madden.
Here.
Alderman Kubaki.
Here.
Alderman Engelhardt.
Here.
Alderman Kapusta.
Here.
Alderman Terrence.
Here.
Alderman Hamel is not here. Alderman Wolf.
Here.
Mayor Pitfalski. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Statement of public notice.
This meeting was noticed in accordance with the open meeting law.
Thank you. Public comment. I have a card here from Peter, is it Schmidt or? Yes. Would you like to come up and state your name and address?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Schmidt. I live on South 76 West 13925 Bloom Court in Muskego, Wisconsin. I've lived here for about 5 years now.
It's up to you.
Is the mic on?
Is the mic?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You can pull it out of there if you want, and then on the back there should be a thing. You gotta turn it on. Oh,
Okay.
and Christine's got to do something here.
Do you have, wait a second.
Oh, no. I think it's muted now, right? No. Okay, you
It
should
should
be
work.
good.
Test.
There you
There
go.
you go.
You're ready to sing.
Yeah.
Karaoke. All right. So do I have to go through that again?
Nope.
Okay, great. I'm here to address tonight's consent agenda. It's Resolution 011-2021, the award bid on the Hilldale Road project. I'm here to speak in favor of awarding the project to Always Contractors, the low bidder read on the project public opening. Always Contractors has followed all procedures and protocols in place. We are a pre-qualified bidder. We've done work in the city of Muskego for the past 5 years as a prime contractor and as a subcontractor without any issue. I personally worked on this bid. I put many hours into this bid. When it was read low, we were very excited because it's a big job. We are more than qualified to do the project, and then we were notified that the possibility of awarding the project to another contractor came in our ear, and we were asking why. As a taxpayer for the city of Muskego, the second bidder was somewhere around $40,000 higher in cost. So as a taxpayer, those questions need to be answered as well. As a responsible bidder on the project, the city of Muskego, naturally following the open job, should award the job to Always Contractors. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Communications from the mayor's office. Scott, you want to help us with this? Scott's just going to give an update on the Waukesha water project that's going to be starting up here.
So, Great Water Alliance, Waukesha Water Alliance, why Waukesha Water Project and why we're doing this and talking about this is, if you haven't seen, by Gingerbread House, they are gonna start the first bore to go underneath that intersection. I approved the permits to do 4 other bores within the city of Muskego. They're also on our website now. They are now providing us construction schedules. I believe you all got it as an alderman. I have also posted it on there. The other thing that just came up is Thursday, February 18th at 6 p.m., there'll be a virtual open house. We can't do public informations with COVID. We can't just have a meeting here. So it's going to be a virtual one. As soon as I get the information, I will post it with PDS. It's in our newsletter. They're going to do elections here the week of that for February. We'll have signs up. I'll post it as much as I can. Mayor's going to put it on Facebook, but please get your constituents, anyone on that route, just be aware. They're going to send out flyers, but February 18th at 6 p.m., it will be a virtual open house talking about the construction, which is going to affect a lot of us. Any questions? Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Scott. Public hearing we have a public hearing to consider the petition of Wisco Carts and Milwaukee Camper Rental to be granted a rezoning from B2 Local Service Center District to B3 General Business District for the purposes of allowing the sale and service of new and used golf carts and camper rentals on this property. Adam.
Thank you, Mayor. As you mentioned, this is a public hearing for Wisco Carts and Milwaukee Camper Rental. They're looking at occupying the space that was formerly the home to Paradise Pools, just off of Janesville Road. They're looking to rezone the property from B2 Local Service Center to B3 General Business District. The reason they're asking for this request is as part of their selling of the motorized golf carts and the camper kind of rental. That's not specifically defined as uses in our code. So historically, when there's ever been similar types of uses, we've had go-kart sales, we've had like ATV sales. We kind of treat that the same as any kind of automobile sale or service. So hence, that's why they're asking to go to the B3 district. They're also separately going to be having a public hearing for a conditional use grant at Plan Commission next week, which is another part of what they would need to have their use on this site. As part of what they're looking at doing, they're looking at, like I said, selling and customizing, and I believe doing service work on golf carts, kind of higher end customized kind of things, as well as offering pop-up camper rentals from the property. So people would come pick up a camper, take it for the trip, and return it when they're done. They're not actually selling any kind of automobiles. Like I said, it's the camper rental, the golf cart. But it is allowable, subject to Plan Commission approval of a BSO and a conditional use grant, as long as they do receive the rezoning.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to be heard on this matter? Anyone from council that has any questions or comments?
Quick question. Sorry, make you come back up.
Is a petitioner here? No. Okay.
Are you guys with the petitioner? Yeah, we've never met in person. So.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of reviewing some of it. It mentions here repair work, and we're talking minor repairs, right? We're not looking at having a full-fledged garage there where we're pulling engines out, just kind of looking at what's going to happen on the site. I know that if you're doing rentals, just some of my concerns are we looking at, we're going to have stripped down, campers in a parking lot because we're doing major repairs. I don't think that's what's in there, but would love to hear kind of you to speak to that if that's okay.
And he can clarify, but I believe that the campers are just pop-ups, so there wouldn't be, motor to it.
That's right, yep. Yeah, so there are no motors in the campers. Of course, with golf carts, the trend today is primarily electric, but there are gas golf carts, small engines, we're talking like this size, that occasionally need service work that could be rebuilt. We'll either do that on site or we'll send those out. But, you think about automotive vehicles, right, with lots of oil. This is not the case with golf carts. That answer the question?
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
Are you going to, do you think you'll ever be renting full RVs on this site? And would this zoning allow that, or how would that work?
First of all, the site is not set up for us to do that, right? The pop-up works well for this location, given the three garages in the back and the way there's a space that's hidden from the main road, even from the walking path behind. So we would never be able to do full-size campers from here.
Okay.
Yep. About how many campers might be on site at one time?
5.
5?
Yep.
Okay.
I think we have residents with more than that. All right.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
And as far as the RV question too, is if it's something, let's say they ever wanted to expand something on site, the specific Plan Commission resolution will talk about just pop-ups at the time. So if they wanted to, and if they can make the site work, it could be something that could be discussed. But yeah, it's like you said, not set up for it.
All right, thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? Hearing none, I'll close this public hearing. Moving on with the agenda, under unfinished business, Resolution 101-2020, approval of a solid waste services contract for 2021 to 2025 with GFL Muskego LLC for refuge and recycling collection. It was on the floor and deferred on December 8th, 2020.
Move to approve.
Discussion?
Scott could fill us in with the numbers?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything in particular that you want me? I provided the cost estimate for both GFL and John's Disposal. We sent it out to 3 service providers. We got 2 back. Just to kind of see where the biggest cost and just highlight it, it's recycling. Just to kind of let you know, it's about $1.50 more per month per household for recycling. And then we pay currently, and the reason why is back when we're doing trade wars with China and India, they would take 60% of our recyclables. So right now they are not. So it is costing not just the city of Muskego, but most municipalities a lot more to do recycling. If you're looking at just weekly garbage pickup, it's 10 cents more, 507. It's $4.97 right now. So it just went up 10 cents, just so you know. The yard waste drop-off site, $14,000. It actually was more expensive 4 years ago when they did it. And the refuse and recycling for schools and the city is actually cheaper now than 4 years ago. But what that happened is we consolidated buildings and the school consolidated buildings. So those are why some of those are just cheaper.
Are these numbers locked in for the whole duration?
Well, you see the rate that has to annually rate increase.
There is a rate
There's
increase.
an escalator in
Yeah,
there,
yep,
yes.
it's in the thing.
Okay.
And if you guys remember about a year ago, this does tie into it a little bit. We left Waukesha County's cooperative. So the DNR money that the county was getting and then not cutting us anything back because there was no dividends anymore, we will be getting that dividend at least from the DNR. That'll help offset some of this. Plus we have lots of fund balance. So I'm not sure how much rates will have to change on this. We'll look at that separately. But by and large, the refuge or the recycling was the big increase
Correct.
on there, but it may not trickle down dollar for dollar to the ratepayers at this point.
Yeah, just to let you know, we are now an official responsible unit again for the city of Muskego for recycling. Anywhere in the past, our DNR was $80,000 to $100,000 in grant money that we would get back for that. When we were with Waukesha County for their MRF, the last couple of years, we got 0 grant money back with that, just because with that contract, they were using those grant monies to offset their costs with the MRF. And that's MRF is just a term for a licensed place that does recycle material. Sorry, just to let everyone know. I apologize.
In the unlikely event that China and India come back into the recycling business, is there going to be a way to renegotiate some of those costs?
The contract does have an offsetting on, yes, if you read the contract, it does have an offset for what they sell it for. Like if they start finding a market for this stuff and paying for it, we get a dividend back, I believe, on that, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's also too, it's a really tough one, recycling right now. I heard other communities, what they're trying to do. I know we do a single source. They're beginning some communities to separate it, because if you get glass separated and you get high quality glass, it's worth more. But again, do we want to go back to separating stuff, or we're trying to do the single source thing again? So again, cardboard, glass are kind of the high ones to recycle. So the other thing too, it's not part of this contract, but everyone asks about electronic recycling. At the landfill, there's a place to go and dump your electronic recycling. That's a different issue, but we do electronic recycle, just in case anyone's asking about that.
And finally, the last thing that came up on when we were going through this from the community, Muskego does like to recycle. They're recycling that, or they'd like to drink. I'm not sure what it is, but the recycling bins fill up quite a bit. So there was questions about like.
It's COVID.
The question was, would we consider doing a weekly pickup instead of a biweekly pickup? The cost of it is cost prohibitive to do that. A couple options for the community and for those watching at home. A number of people still have the smaller recycling bins at home. There is an option to get a larger recycling bin that is the exact same size as your garbage container. Some of you may have the smaller one that's slightly smaller than your garbage container. So you can always upgrade to that larger one for free. In addition, if you still want more capacity, you can get a second container from GFL. They'll drop it off, and they will bill you separately, but it's about $50 a year.
Yeah, it's like works out to $49.20. And for example, Alderman Terrace, you say you want this, you run a credit card, they have a separate account for you, you get another bin. When to pick up, they pick up both bins. We never see the bill, it just goes directly to you. Some people like it. I'm a person with 2 little kids. I have 2 bins of recyclable every week, and I have 1 of garbage. It's understandable. Everyone's in a different place, but that's one definite option to help everyone out. So,
Any other questions?
Couple questions.
Yes.
Yeah. Last time we went through this, there was quite a discussion, as I recall, about the long driveways and so forth.
yes, so we did, what there is about so many long driveways out there, just to let you know. It's kind of more in Alderman Madden's area. So what they did is they're going to charge a $6.45 charge to the resident on an annual basis. And what that allows it to do, it's not recyclables, it's more garbage pickup. So they drop their bag at the end of the street. The guy has to manually get out and put it in. It's not an automatic like most 99% of Muskego. So it's just in this area. There's a couple driveways over 400 feet. We're going to just charge, they're going to charge an extra $6.45 because the guy has to manually get out, grab it, and then put it in there for that. And it's only garbage. It's not recyclables. For some reason, they can do the recyclables.
Isn't it easier just to roll the cart down there?
Again, some do, some don't. It's just an option. Alderman Madden asked for it. It was in the last contract, and we put it back in here for this contract.
I think what the issue is like a day like today, it's easier just to grab that bag, throw it in the back of your trunk, and drive it down to the end of your driveway and leave it versus trying to haul that big plastic thing through the.
Are they allowed to put something up to park their bins in otherwise at the end of their driveway?
Yeah, that has never been an issue or anything like that.
Well,
Just
It's like the mailboxes, they like to smash them
Yeah.
when there's nobody that can see.
And technically that does.
We have a decent history
against
over
our
this
zoning.
last contract on that, after the last time.
And we don't want to encourage people to leave their garbage bin in the
Yeah,
front.
right.
It's actually against our zoning.
one other thing that I'd like to say too is one of the complaints, well, this is now GFL. One of the complaints that we've heard is this call center that they were doing. So they should have started at the end of January. They're now having, when you call, you'll be able to call directly to the hauler place, which is in Muskego. Just to let you know, these are people that are in the Muskego area right there, but they are changing their ways with the service calls. It was awful. They even know it was awful. It was like, it went to some prayers. It didn't go to the place in Muskego. It went somewhere else and then got bounced to a different state. They saw it a problem. That is one of the complaints that I had with them, and it's one of the complaints that the residents had. So hopefully with this new process, this will work better for, hey, I need to pick up a large bulk item, or I have a complaint, you missed my garbage, that it should work a little bit better. So.
I have one other question then on the bulk pickup one. Reads here, it says pickup shall be initiated by residential customer or driver call-in. That was ambiguous in the last round and was pointed out because we had a problem with it. Then the next statement says drivers must notify the dispatcher of bulky item discard they observe on routes. So it's a little ambiguous yet as to who's responsible to make that call for the bulky item.
Yeah. You know, the point of it was to do 2 things. One, if you have an item, please just call. They set up, they'll have a resident kind of pick it up. It's not going to happen maybe right away, but they'll schedule it in. 2, if I'm a driver and I'm going a route and I see a couch that's been sitting out there for 3 days in a row or 4 days or almost a week, call it in, please. And it was kind of put in there for both ways to do it. That was kind of the whole history of that thing. It's for both people to do it. You know, we prefer the resident to call in. They're not going to drive around and look for bulk items. You set up a time, they pick it up, there's no extra charge. It's just, that was the way. But when they're driving around, we put that in there. We want the driver to also notify, hey, if there's an issue here, let's go pick it up. And that's kind of what it was.
Yeah, well, that was where a lot of the rub was because it was where the driver was unwilling to do that.
Ultimately, the resident's responsible for making the call and getting it picked up.
Okay.
But we'll work with them. I mean, we'll work with them, and these guys have been pretty good of listening and making adjustments as needed. So.
And we still do not have a hazardous waste, Waukesha is still looking.
Waukesha, the last landfill meeting, the mayor was at too, and that was the first January 4th. Now that GFL is in charge, Waukesha County is moving forward again with GFL to hopefully have a household hazardous waste at our landfill. They kind of was on until this whole waste management bought Advance, and then waste management sold part of it to GFL. Then they had to, once that was done, that's what their goal is. Because they understand, down in the south area, southeast part of Waukesha County, there's no place to do it. So they're working on getting a household waste site there, so.
So that would be, resident has to haul it in themselves on a Saturday or what?
Yes.
Yes, but again, those details.
Yeah, you'll work that out. I just want, it's
They
really
haven't
not
been
in this
worked out yet.
contract. It's not, I just wanted to bring that up just as
Yeah.
a observation.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope. And the last time at our landfill meeting, GFL, when they were here, they're going to work with Waukesha on what's the best time to do it, so.
No timetable?
No timetable yet, so.
Good.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Moving on to consent agenda. There is approval of common council minutes from January 12th, approval of operators licenses, approval of resolution 00721, lease agreement with Jack King for Kelsey Conservation Site, resolution 008-2021, approval of lease agreement with Robert Stiegler for the Badacher Preserve, resolution 009-2021, approval of the lease agreement with Carl Thiesenhuisen for the tillable lands at Park Arthur. Resolution 010-2021, award of bid for portable toilet facility services, and resolution 011-2021, award of bid for Hillendale Road project.
Move to approve and gross except for 11/2021.
Yep, good, Kevin.
A second that.
All right. Right. So this is for everything but 011-2021. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Now we'll take resolution 011-2021, award of bid for Hillendale Road project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Schmidt had mentioned that they did other work in the city. Scott, anything to this extent? Anything to this magnitude?
So from the history, again, I wasn't here, but Dave Simpson was here. The last was the trail that was done on Woods Road. That was just a trail. This is a full road reconstruction project. It is $1.5 million to $3 million. To my knowledge, they have not done a project or managed a project that big in the city of Muskego. Furthermore, I have looked at every project that they have submitted, which is that they did. They have not done a $1.5 to $3 million road reconstruction project since 2015 to 2020. That big. I'm just letting you know based off the qualifications that they sent us.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, I think, I can't remember the last time we didn't take the low bidder. Can you refresh my memory? Am I missing something?
No, I cannot remember the last time. There was a couple that we looked at, I think based off, Jill found out something was not turned in correctly or something like that a long time ago.
Right. It could be, I can't remember.
That it was not in my experience here.
It's happened here before, though.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
when I was an alderman, I know it happened a number of times.
Yeah.
What's the difference in that pricing on the project from lowest bidder?
About $36,000.
36,000 even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rough and change.
So it's 36,453 plus, what's the alternate on there?
No,
There's
that's
another
with-
2,500
that's
for
considering the
alternate?
No, that's
That's considering the alternate.
that's an alternate.
That's with the alternate.
With the
With-
alternate.
Okay,
Both bids.
it's 36. You know, the only question I have is that I'm assuming Super Western at one point in their bidding was, had a first time to have a big project. So I don't know if that would disqualify Always because of the size of the project, because everybody's got to start somewhere to get to that next project. And if we disqualify them, then they'll never get there. We'll have to wait for someone else. It looks like there's a project experience listed here and there's a reference listed here. Is there a problem with either one of those?
So I looked at, they provided the whole list of project, how we vent jobs, all right? That whole thing, I look at price, I look at project experience, and I look at references. So when you submit a qualification, we have the price, we have all the project experience, we have then references. So in this particular case, I have all the project experience that Always submitted. It's from 2015 to 2019 that they submitted. They even submitted all theirs from 2020. In that whole 5 years, there is not a road reconstruction project that is of this size. This would be their largest project. I reached out to 8 references, me or other staff, to check, because I like to, my job is to be a responsible person to you guys. It's me making this call for a very large amount of money.
Did you say 8 references?
8 references. I called 8 references. And like, not me personally, but city staff, and we vented them. And
I'm just looking at the most, I mean, I only see 6 total out of references here if you add them all up.
For their references?
No, references are listed 1, 3, and 2.
That's a score.
No,
That's a scoring.
like
That's
a
how I
scoring,
score
yeah.
them.
He scored them.
okay.
I score them
Points.
like this. Okay, for
Gotcha.
example, highest was 3. Okay, for example, lowest is 1. Always, they got a 3. No one's going to beat them on their price. Okay. The next person I had on there was Super Western. They got a 2.
Well, that's the obvious, right? That
Yeah,
pricing is obvious.
Obvious. Okay, so now I go for project experience. All right. If you look at Super Western and their project experience and it's all road reconstruction, I give them a 3. Based off of what they sent me, and it is probably 20 to 30 projects, I give them a 1. There is not one project of this size that they have done in the last 5 years. Then, to even more give them the benefit of the doubt, I had our consultant reach out to 8 other references that they provided them and explain our job and ask for feedback back. And I have that information. Based off of that, there was some concerns. I'm not going to go into details of that, but that's what it was. That's why I ranked them as 1. All right? I'm just telling you that's how I kind of look at this thing.
I'm super frugal up here. I think you know that in the short time I've been here. But I agree that I'm trusting you to make the decision because we're talking $1.6 million, and if something goes wrong, I don't want to be like, I went rogue and picked the other one. Are you able to elaborate on some of those concerns without naming individual companies, without how it relates to our project and why that you felt like that was a 1 as opposed to a 2?
Scott, wait.
I really wouldn't get into that.
You
at
can't
this
list
point.
anything
No.
like that.
I don't want to,
It's too subjective.
yeah, and
You either trust your city engineer to make a choice or you don't. But
Kinda like hiring a
I'm not
person.
going to disparage a
You
good
can't
company.
you can't read.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're, and if that's a private conversation, I mean, yeah.
Super Western also did part of Janesville Road, didn't they?
So Super Western, just I want to give you experience. A couple years ago for Wisconsin DOT, they did our Moreland Road project from Janesville Road with the new roundabout. They also did our Bay Lane project from Janesville Road to Woods Road. These are 2 jobs within the wheelhouse, the exact same sizes as the one you're going to deal with Hillendale, the exact same experiences. There's a school on both of them. They are very qualified to do this work.
Given the residents' feedback, I think all of us are pretty sensitive about this particular project to make sure it's done properly, on time. I concur with your decision.
There is, I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with Always and their abilities. We have an existing working relationship with Super Western that we've had good work with. The difference is less than 3%. Not that 2.3% is insignificant in a project this size, but because of a project this size, I myself would rather that the council would choose to go with someone with a proven track record in our community. Doesn't mean that, we could roll the dice and they could be always, I'm sure they're capable of it, but it's a guess from our experience, so that's why.
Question on the budget.
Yep,
We've got a budgeted at 2.8 million and a project coming in at 1.6 million.
sure.
Am I missing something, or
Nope,
did you?
here we
find
go.
one- Okay.
So just to give you an idea, Bay Lane Road, we had 2 bidders. We had 8 bidders for this project. We were the first one out in December. There is companies, for example, Muskego, Pandolin. If you look at their resume, it is all DOT work. I mean, they are qualified like more than ever before. They would never bid on this job. I don't know if 1, we were the first bidders, or 2, COVID's happening, and you're now seeing budgets being shrunk. And since we were the first job out there, we had 8 bidders. Guys, I mean, great for us. But I got the cost estimate from our consultant, and we're still in the price range of 2.8 to 3 million. So this is a very good deal for the city of Muskego right now. I've been checking other places. For example, I checked another person who said that they had a water main that they bid out, and he had 18 bidders for a water main project. I don't know. I don't know if private work is dying up, and people are like, oh man, we got to go to public. But there's bidders on this that I've not seen in a long time. And the more we have, the better competition. Even the highest bidder is only at 1.9.
It's just a good environment right now.
It is a very good environment for us right now.
Any other questions? Can you do a roll call vote?
Alderman Madden,
Yes.
Alderman Kubaki.
Yes.
Alderman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Alderman Kapusta,
No.
Alderman Terrence,
Yes.
Alderman Hamill's not here, Alderman Wolf.
No.
4-2?
I think I got everybody.
Yeah, good.
4-2.
4-2. 4-2, it passes, the bid is awarded to Super Western. Moving on to new business, review of committee reports. Finance Committee meeting from December 8th, 2020 for your review. And then we have the first reading of ordinances and possible second reading if the rules are waived. Ordinance number 1455, an ordinance to amend the zoning map, City of Muskego, Wisco carts and Milwaukee camper rental from B2 to B3. That's the first reading on that. Any questions or any information needed for the second reading? Then ordinance number 1456, an ordinance to amend chapter 267, sections 267-4, 267-6, 267-7C, and 267-18 of the municipal code of the city of Muskego, peddlers, solicitors, and transient merchants, first reading. Any questions or information needed for second reading on that one? All right, moving on to voucher approval.
Motion to approve utility vouchers in the amount of $4,074,632.60.
Second?
Discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Motion to approve tax vouchers in the amount of $75,183.82.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Motion to approve general fund vouchers in the amount of $875,063.66.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And motion to approve wire transfers for payroll transmittals in the amount of $365,652.12.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. City officials reports, I have none. Communications miscellaneous business as authorized by law. Any updates on any of the liaisons? Any future agenda items needed?
I just have a question about the old police station. I mean, is there anything moving forward? Is there something coming up on agendas or?
Yes, I'm going to have something, I'm planning right now, probably March, to bring forward for a committee to hold to start talking about. I just started talking in the last month or so with Scott and Tammy of kind of coming up with some thoughts and ideas and see what you guys want to do with it. And we'll sit down as a cow and decide which direction we want to go with that whole property.
Sure, I just wanted to keep that out in the public, so, okay, thanks.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn would be in order?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned at 7:35, or 6:35, sorry.
Got all these